Hello Steve. Hello Jill. It's time to game classy.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously like what this would be if this was a current thing. It would just be one book.
Yeah.
You know, all of the stuff contained in this module would just be in the book.
It's just so nice because it's like it's little and it fits right on your bookshelf.
Right. That's how they were designed. They were designed to go with your books.
Yeah, and it's nice and thin and it works. They should keep doing stuff like this.
They should.
And it would actually prevent, I think, a lot of
PDF theft.
You know, I guess. And it makes it more like, I want that, you know. I know it's probably a little bit more expensive to produce than just like a straight up book, but
I don't know about that. Printing is pretty cheap from what I understand.
yeah, I mean, as opposed to just one book, like it probably costs like 0.00001 cent.
Right.
And that box probably costs like 0.001 cent.
Right.
So it's like it does cut into your profits a little bit, but you know, what are you going to do about it? Hey everyone, welcome to Game Classy. I'm your host Joe, and with me as always is the Joram.
Game Classy.
With me as always is the Jorah Mormont to my Daenerys Stormborn, Steve.
Is that the old guy? The bear?
Yes.
I am a bear.
You are a bear, as anyone who just watched the video will can tell. Oh, Game of Thrones. 2 crappy episodes, but tonight's supposed to be pretty good. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I haven't been watching it. I'm just going to shotgun the whole season when it comes out.
Ah, you fool.
I don't really care.
Oh, you fool.
I don't
It's
really care.
must-watch TV. must-watch TV.
Well, I am defying that construct by not watching it. I will later.
I know.
I'll hammer through it in one season.
I like
Or
it when
in-
you
in
watch
one
it, though,
go.
because then we could commiserate over it.
I don't know.
You get the nerdy part of it. Like, you get, like, the D&D aspect that I like about it.
The first episode, I was kind of like, I don't know. I would.
No, the first episode of the season was pretty bad.
I was just kind of like, eh. It reminded me that like all of the characters I cared about are dead, and or like Tyrion is a great example. I think Tyrion was an awesome character, but they removed any sort of agency he had, so he became boring. Like
A little bit,
he
yeah.
he no longer has any abilities or meaningful way to interact with the game world, as it were. So he's like a player who's on hiatus.
A little bit.
And like if the player characters who are still playing the game every week want to know what he's doing, I have to go like shuffle. He's over here. He's in Al Qadim.
He's in El Qadim.
Yeah, he's talking to this other NPC. He became an NPC. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Tyrion's player quit but didn't want his character to die, so he became an NPC, and he's no longer part of the game.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he got a little nerfed.
And then all of the other characters that I was following are dead.
Well, who?
So, well,
Spoilers.
Well, I mean, I don't.
But if you like Game of Thrones, you should have watched it by now. I'm just throwing that out there.
It doesn't matter. I don't feel like throwing a bunch of spoilers, but it just does, like, think of anybody, like a bunch, like they're all dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Because I don't care about Arya, I don't care about Sansa, like the character, and maybe it's not necessarily that all of the characters, only the characters I cared about are dead, but the characters that remain are characters I don't care about. Like the Onion Knight's pretty cool, but he's like he's like a cool NPC again. Like
Yeah.
there's like the player characters remaining are like. It's like you're running your D&D session and you've been doing it for years, and like the people you started the game with are gone, like they've had kids or they've moved away, and like you're just left with like the add-on people who heard about your great game. So you're running this game and you're sitting there and you're looking across your table and there's 3 people sitting there who you don't really like, and you're kind of continuing the game via obligation. You're like, I because you want to keep.
Yeah, you want to keep it going.
Yeah, you want to keep playing, and finding a new group is a pain in the ass. So, having these 3, I get like you settle for the 3 guys you're with.
I don't necessarily know if I'd go that far with Game of Thrones, but the first episode was really weak, and the last 2 episodes were really weak. But all the episodes in between, very good.
Which is why I want to approach it as I approach The Walking Dead, which is. I don't watch an episode here and there. I watch a season.
Yeah, that's what I do with The Walking Dead.
I just smash through the season because, like, the last season I watched on Netflix, there were a ton of episodes that were garbage, like total garbage. But there were some good episodes in there.
Yeah.
And, like, overall as a season, it was easier to grade and be like, oh, that wasn't dog shit. But, like, I remember when I was last watching it on TV when it was airing, I can't remember which season it was, but I just stopped. I was like, this show's fucking terrible now, and I stopped
I think
watching
it was third season because I remember you going on a rant about Andrea.
Yeah,
Like,
and then people suddenly started talking like, "Oh, it's so good! Like this season's so good," and I'm just like, "The fuck are you talking about? The show's terrible." And then like, "Oh, okay, like." The episodes that are good are really good.
Yeah.
And the episodes that are bad are
And
really,
really
bad.
bad.
So season shotgunning is the way to watch it, and I feel that way. I feel like Game of Thrones has become that.
a little bit. You know,
It's still one of the best shows on TV.
Yeah, hands down.
Like, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if that speaks to the quality of Game of Thrones or the sub quality of TV.
I don't know. TV's dipping
Pick your
down.
poison.
TV has been dipping down a little bit. The only show that I really like, I watch Game of Thrones and I watch The Flash. Those are the two shows that I have to watch week to week. I don't give anyone else a choice. It's like I have to watch it.
I liked the Flash the '80s version.
I think you would like the new one. I really do.
That was I went as the Flash for Halloween that year.
1988.
Yeah, my mom made me a costume. It was awesome.
Yes, and then the show was canceled.
I mean, I did.
But Mark Hamill comes
You know
back.
what? One of the cool things about being a kid is you don't care when that happens.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're just like, oh, no more Flash. Okay, what's the new thing?
Well, what's fun is that in the new show, Mark Hamill does come back as the
trickster?
Yeah, as the trickster.
Nice.
And it's the same character. Really.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well,
because in the Flash CW, it's what Flash is it?
It's still Barry Allen.
Oh, okay. Because it was Barry Allen in the.
Yeah, no, it's Barry Allen. It's not like it's a continuation of the 80s series, but there's so many nods.
Well,
to these,
I'm thinking like, oh, maybe it's Wally West because like then they could have not written the 80s series out.
Yeah. No, the guy who plays the Flash in the 80s series, John Wesley Shipp, he's actually Barry Allen's dad in the CW show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those guys that Mark Berlanti.
So they cared about the original Flash.
Oh yeah. That's the
cool.
nice thing is like Berlanti, who's like the producer, he really cares about all of these, all of like the influences that would come into the show.
That's cool.
So like people, characters, stuff from the comic books, it's all really, really, it's like a lot of fan service, but it's done in that like really good fan service
Gorilla
way.
Grodd is in the new Injustice.
Yes, and Gorilla Grodd is on the Flash TV show.
That's pretty cool.
They have a gorilla, and they have King Shark too. They have a giant
I
shark
really
man.
like Gorilla Grodd.
Really like Gorilla.
Gorilla Grodd. You know what? Gorilla Grodd I like because he's an out of time villainous concept.
Yeah.
Because he's so dated.
Yeah, he's
and
a Silver Age villain.
Yeah, he's so much a Silver Age villain, but they managed to just like drag him along. Like he did not get left in the past.
Well, he's my second
like
favorite
Gorilla Grodd.
talking gorilla in the DC universe, next to Monsieur Mala, who is the French gorilla.
What about Detective Chimp?
But he's not a gorilla. I said my second favorite
true.
talking gorilla.
That's true.
And Detective Chimp didn't become cool until like 10 years ago. When they brought him back for Infinite Crisis.
I read one where he was with Batman and they were solving a crime, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, this Batman solving a crime with a monkey.
Once he became like a hard drinking detective monkie,
like
I
a
was
film noir,
great.
a film noir protagonist.
Yes, once it became that, it was great. Speaking of film noir, I know we'll get into game stuff in a little bit. I finally watched Zootopia. Finally,
again?
Yeah, but I mean, like I got to rewatch it,
Oh, okay.
and I realized
I was
I'm
like, 'cause you saw it in theaters.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, guess what? This is real film noir crap.
Yeah,
going
it
on.
is.
Yeah,
It's a noir detective story.
Yeah.
Like it's really good. Like I was telling you, it's a good movie.
yeah. However, still think it's a little furry for my taste.
Because it made you feel funny in your pants. The bunny, the hips. Is it the hips on the bunny? It's the hips on the bunny.
It's
you can admit it.
No,
you can admit it.
No,
Even the Honest Trailers guy points it out. You can admit it.
he did, and I don't even like Honest Trailers. I think they were a little.
They're swingy.
Yeah, sometimes they're a little too like if you could tell if he likes a movie, then
Yes.
he treats it very.
But I kind of like that.
guess.
I like when I see people's personal biases.
Yeah, but no, it's a little too furry for me. Little too.
Or not furry enough.
There's not enough nudity. And that's the thing. There was no buttholes on any of the animals.
They had no genitals.
They had no
Period.
genitals.
You are correct.
That's
I mean,
awful.
and everyone knows my stance on genitals. Like they should be there, loud and proud.
Yeah. I mean, they literally go to a nudist camp, and there are no genitals, no buttholes, nothing.
Hashtag spoiler, no butthole.
No butthole. Hashtag no butthole. It's a little disappointing. Not that I wanted to see it, but I'm
You
like,
wanted to see it.
but I'm like, come on, like let's be honest.
You don't need to lie.
Why does
you're
Dis-
among friends?
Why does Disney pretend like animals don't have genitals?
I think it's because they wanted to keep their film at a certain rating.
Well,
and
I understand that.
The ratings board probably wouldn't let them keep that G or PG. I don't know if it was.
Yeah,
one or
I
the
think it
other.
was PG. I might have been.
There were some, I guess, like scary scenes. They wouldn't let them keep that if there were giant elephant pussies and huge horse cocks flopping around.
I mean, I think that needed to be in that movie.
For someone who's advocating that it's too furry, you're going into a territory.
No. This has nothing to do with the furry thing.
Now
This
here
is
comes
just
the backtrack.
This is just straight up biology. Like, why do people have to pretend like this stuff doesn't exist? You know what doesn't exist? Furries in real life. They don't exist. But you know
Not
what
yet.
exists? Genitals.
Chimeras. They're coming.
They're just coming.
That's there's an episode of Batman Beyond that's where people are they are.
Oh, I remember that.
It's a good episode. They inject like the thing that gives him like one animal trait and makes him look cool, and then he fights the dude who like injects himself like 7 of them at the end, and he's like a gross monster.
If you had one animal trait, what would it be?
Tortoise lifespan.
Tortoise lifespan.
Yeah.
It's not bad. You'd be really slow though.
No, I said lifespan. It's one trait. It doesn't give you more than that. It's exactly one thing.
I don't know, but there has to be some sort of like negative.
I mean, I'm already really slow,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I don't think it would
You'd be like the sloth in Zootopia. It's like, hi, Joe.
Flash.
And you'd be like rolling, like leading a D&D game. You'd be like, roll for initiative.
Be like, I got a 17. 17. Well done.
Let me check the stats.
go grab, like very
You
slowly grab the book.
You like lick the page. Each page has to go.
good stuff.
And you're like, oh, this is the wrong edition.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's what I would go with. I mean, besides the obvious horse cock.
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
But I mean, to be fair, that would be useless. Like, if I had a horse cock, like, I guess I could fuck horses. Like,
yeah, I know there's a lot of bronies who would probably enjoy that. No, I would probably like.
they want to fuck cartoon horses, Joe.
That's true. I would like a good lemur tail, like an ambidextrous tail that I could use for.
You know what? An octopus tentacle, in addition to my human limbs.
No.
But it's got to be in addition. Let's see, it's got to be in addition to.
Yeah.
Because like an octopus tentacle is super dexterous,
Yeah.
and it could really like. Imagine being able to
I
like
would just
hold
throw you against the wall and watch you stick and like slowly go down.
Just one A. But I mean, like, so like, let's just say for minis painting purposes, you can have like you can hold it perfectly by the base and have like. You could have 2 brushes and be doing like blending.
That's true.
On
I mean,
the model.
if you had like 8, if you had the 8 octopus tentacles along with your 2 arms, that would be very useful for painting.
Yeah, you'd be able to do a lot, and because think of like the blending and stuff you could do with 2 brushes, like just simultaneously.
Oh yeah.
And it wouldn't, because you could kind of do that now, but you have to set up like a rig with like one of those clamps,
yeah.
and that's a lot of work.
The clamps.
Well, that's a lot of work. This way, you could just be like, you could just machine gun it through, like, and you never need to stop moving your hands while your tentacles are grabbing models and putting them up in front of you.
Yeah.
It'd be you would be a sweatshop by yourself.
Yeah. I'm already a sweatshop. This is too goddamn hot out. All right, let's get.
Well, enjoy the AC.
Yes, it is nice.
I went on a movie marathon last night.
Oh, what'd you do? What'd you see?
I watched 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
Followed by
Haven't seen it yet.
The Boy. Followed by
What's The Boy?
It's the creepy doll horror movie.
Oh,
with Maggie from
Lauren
Walking
Cohen.
Dead.
Yeah.
And then followed by Krampus.
Ooh, I like the Krampus.
Krampus. And then
Ding dong, ding dong.
I've got a couple.
Krampus.
I've got a couple to watch today. I think Krampus couldn't figure out what movie it wanted to be.
No.
It had a serious identity problem.
It did, and I think part of the problem with that it wasn't. I think the rating didn't let it be violent enough. It should have been.
It was R.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it should have been much more violent.
I couldn't figure out why it was R.
Yeah.
No, I really legitimately could not figure out why it was R, other than the fact that they were like being attacked by like kind of conceptually scary things, but there was no swearing that I can recall, and there was no actual violence.
Yeah.
Like there's no, like someone says like the synopsis is like it's like a gory romp through, and I'm like, there is no blood. There's not
Yeah.
a spot of blood in that entire movie.
It's not. I don't know. I liked it because I liked the visuals and I liked what they did with the puppets and I liked a lot of like the effects. But I do think it needed to be much more violent.
yeah, and the Krampus was weird looking.
Yeah.
Like
it was great.
Yeah, so like it definitely had some positive stuff. I would say like the best review I could give it is like it's a very like hard 5 out of 10. It's like all of the things that are good about it like don't push it past that like
I can see it. Yeah.
that point. The Boy was pretty good, actually, surprisingly good. I was impressed by it. I'm used the horror genre is pretty played at this point, so
Dude, have you seen Conjuring 2 yet?
no, we're going to.
Holy crap, that movie was amazing.
Yeah, because the first one's really good.
Oh, the first one's the best horror movie I've seen in 10 years.
So we're probably going to go see that actually after this podcast.
Yeah. Hands down, the first Conjuring was the best horror movie in the last 10 years. The Conjuring 2, as good.
Nice.
I would say it's not necessarily better, and it's not necessarily worse, but it is like they are equal in like every aspect of it.
Nice.
The only thing that makes it kind of lesser is the fact that you are already used to like the concept of what they're promoting. Like you already know the Warrens and everything.
Sure.
So it's like you're like, oh, okay, I get it. But it is fucking terrifying.
Cool. I'm really excited. We'll go
Yeah.
see it. We're going to go see it after the cast.
Yeah.
And then so The Boy was pretty good. And I think watching movies is like actually the best inspiration you can have for gaming, like D&D gaming or even miniatures gaming, like whatever it is. Like I think watching movies gives you a huge for me.
It generally gives you a good mind boner.
Yeah, the creative juices just get flowing, and you're like, yeah, that'd be really cool. Like the Boy is a great concept of like you could straight up run The Boy as a Lovecraftian
One-off.
Yeah. Like with your group, like you could do it. It's very I found it to be like towards the end of it I was like, this is pretty Lovecraftian, and it's cool. And that was good. And then Krampus, of course, and then the 10 Cloverfield. I was not a fan, but people seem to like it in general, so
I've heard it's a very well done movie, but a lot of people, it's a very love or hate movie.
Yeah, I didn't. I guess I'm kind of in the middle toward. Like John Goodwin is fantastic.
Yeah, no one has a problem with the acting in it.
Yeah.
It's the story that people are having issues
Yeah,
with.
it's kind of I don't know. I was not a fan. I wouldn't recommend it, but I would also recommend it.
Yeah.
you should watch it, but don't get excited about it.
Yeah, I mean trust me, I've watched so many terrible horror movies over the last, I don't know, year that when I saw Conjuring 2, I was like, oh my god, I need to see this movie so badly because it made me feel
That's
like,
good because when I heard they were doing a sequel, I'm like, there's probably gonna be sequelitis.
Well, I mean, the second one, the Annabelle movie, was terrible.
Well, that was a spin-off though.
Yeah,
we can't count that.
Yeah, but this as a sequel, I will watch like 4 or 5 movies with the Warrens as long as it's the same cast and B, the same director writer, James Wan.
All right.
James Wan was like the directing in that movie was so on point. It
Cool.
was perfect.
I'm excited. Yeah, and then maybe we'll sneak in and see Warcraft as well. After
I want to see Warcraft.
Yeah.
I think I might go see that when I go. I go on break next week finally, so I might go see Warcraft during the day. Just be like, Speaking of which, Steve, I started something up again.
Oh my God, are you playing World of Warcraft?
Steve, I'm a bad man. I did start up World of Warcraft again.
Ooh. What you say? You only meant well because you said you didn't. That's rough.
I've been doing the
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because the movie has me interested in it again. I played forever back in the day, and it was just like, I'm going to go see what it's like again. I have to say that either I've had no idea what I was doing when I was playing the game.
It is not the same game. It's not even close to the same game.
Yeah. When I started that game 10, 12 years ago, I remember having a hard time leveling. Now,
It gives you the levels like candy.
like candy.
Yeah.
Because you get the first 20 levels free, and I'm not paying for it. I'm just playing. I'm gonna play like the newer races and stuff like that. So I'm playing a Worgen character right now.
Ooh, Alliance. And you're playing Alliance. Jesus.
I already played my Horde character. I did a troll, but because I never played a troll last time. So I already did my Horde. I'm doing Alliance. I'm going to go back to Horde after I finish up leveling this Alliance character. But the Worgen, because since that's a new race, insanely easy. And it's like it feels more like a video game than an MMO.
Yeah.
Because it's like all the quests kind of like, well, do this and then do this and then do this. And back in like playing the Troll, you were like, well, what do I do now? Well, I guess I'll go to this place and see if I can get some quests there.
So a lot of what Blizzard did is their quote-unquote game design is they took very popular mods and would build that into the game. So like quest tracker mods were a huge thing, like because you put them in, that would show you where to go, and so you could follow them because the world's so massive. Instead of having to like manually figure it out, it would just put an arrow on your screen.
Yeah.
So they built that into the game.
That's something I noticed. Yeah.
Aggro trackers, like people being able to track like if an enemy's going to kill you or not, like built that into the game, and like so. And there's still great mods, and like that game is all about the mods, but like.
I was gonna say, like, what I have to figure out is if there's some graphics mods for it, because that game looks exactly the same as it did in 2005.
If you put it on Ultramax settings, it shouldn't.
Yeah, I wonder if they have that for the level 20 free game or not. I wonder if you have to buy the
that
full
I actually
edition.
don't know,
Yeah.
but I do know that like so the way because the game is super old.
Yeah.
But the older zones
Yeah.
still pretty much look the same. They'll be like they'll be like a little better rendered, but like they're still the same because they didn't update all the graphics.
Yeah.
But when you go to the new zones, it'll be like especially if you're running an Ultramax, like you'll be like, oh, here's okay. This is where
Yeah.
the current technology is. That's what it is. So
Yeah.
like that's why when they did Cataclysm, they redid all the old zones because
Yeah.
they made them look better.
Yeah, I mean,
Because if you're running at 60 FPS, like the game should look really good. If it's looking bad, like your graphic settings probably need to be juiced up.
I think it might need to be.
Because it defaults to like a very low setting.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed by that.
Yeah, because if you haven't been dicking with it, it'll be because WoW is made to run on fucking shoeboxes. So like
Yeah.
you need to like set the graphics up yourself.
I still enjoy playing it. It's still fun. I like it.
I liked the Lord of the Rings one, but I just don't have the time to dedicate to an MMO that isn't Elder Scrolls Online.
Yes, I know you love your Elder Scrolls Online.
Elder Scrolls Online, like I said, it's got a fantastic, like, it's a game by itself. You don't need to like
Yeah.
there's no grouping actually necessary until the very end if you want to do it, but it's a great single player MMO, and it's been my favorite pick up and put down game because I found with WoW, well, when I was playing, you needed to remember your rotations so much, like, and you had so many different abilities.
Oh yeah.
Like you'd forget, and I'd go on and be like, "Fuck, what's that do?" And I'd have to like retrain myself a little bit in how to fight because there's so like you need to hit this this thing, you need to wait for this to proc, you need to use this, that, so on. So like, Elder Scrolls is you have 5 abilities, and then you can set the bar where you push a button and another 5 abilities come up. And
Yeah.
That's it. And a lot of the abilities you have slotted are passive. So there's one that's like it's a mage spell, and it's like it can reveal hidden enemies. So if there's invisible enemies, you can cast it to reveal hidden enemies. So it's like, why would you ever have that slotted? Well, if you have it slotted, it gives you a 4% magic bonus always. So you don't even have 5 actual abilities because that one you're not constantly using that spell.
Yeah, I know. I'm a bad person.
Well, it's not. I mean, as long as you say it's not the fucking Star Wars game. Have you seen anyone playing the Star Wars game?
No, what is it?
Oh my god! It's not. It's the old one. It's the BioWare MMO Star Wars.
Legends of the Old Republic?
Knights of the Republic. Yeah.
Knights of the Republic. Yeah.
So I obviously have not followed that game because fuck Star Wars. But moons ago when that game came out, I was watching my friend who was at max level play, and his screen had so many goddamn hot buttons on it.
Oh.
It was like 50 fucking buttons, and I'm almost like, dude, do you really need all those? And he's like, yep.
I remember
was like,
when
Jesus.
when I don't remember if it was Knights of the Republic or it was like an older Star Wars. I think it was just Star Wars Online. It was like the first one that they did.
Yes, there were 2 Star Wars. MMOs.
This was back in like I think it was like 2003.
Okay, that's the Star Wars Online.
Yeah, Star Wars Online. I remember because that game.
which was good, and then they ruined it when they put Jedi into it.
Yeah, but it was. I remember that because you could have pets in that game. And so my buddy had 3 ATST pets. And so they would have these 3 ATSTs follow him around through everywhere, and they would just like blow everything up.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, well. All right, let's get into some gaming news since we're already a half hour into the podcast.
Do we have gaming news?
We have some. The big Kickstarter announcement that's coming out. And I think you'd be a fan of this. Evil Dead 2, the board game.
Oh yes, I saw that out. With the tagline is "We'll take your money now."
Yes.
It's pretty funny.
I think it'd be fun. Be a good self-aware game. It kind of looks like a card game more than a board game, but they have it's not coming out for another 2 weeks. Like the Kickstarter's not going live for another 2 weeks, so we can't really tell. But I'm hoping that it's relatively self-aware. It'd be a good Halloween game. That's what I'm thinking. Because last year on Halloween, I ran the Fantasy Flight Zombies game for my friends, and that went off really well. So actually, I was looking for good like one-off Halloween games to do for this year, and I actually found that Call of Cthulhu for like a couple years back did like one-off Halloween games, and I think I found 3 of them, and I'm like, maybe I'll run one of those.
You should buck convention and run a Krampus event
Krampus!
in
Ding
for Christmas.
dong,
Run
Krampus!
a horror themed campaign for Christmas, but make it Christmas.
I think what would be good, like a way to run a Krampus game would be a runaway game where it's like you constantly have to keep moving so that the Krampus doesn't catch up with you. Like that's the type of game it would have to be. Like you go from point A to point B, and point B you have to do a couple different things to get to point C. But if you
There's our Kickstarter board game, Krampus.
I would do it. I would totally write that up.
There we go, and we'll have tiles, and you have to.
I don't know about tiles. Like
Here's
okay, yeah,
here's
go for it. Go for it.
The tile is you put a tile down, and it's an escape room.
Okay.
You have to exit the tile, then you remove the tile and put another tile down. So rather than doing like a dungeon building tile game, you have a challenge. Like you have a room, you have to escape it, put it down again. You have a room, you have to escape it, or like a dungeony thing.
I think that would lead maybe a dungeon. Maybe I think
because
that
I don't want to do the tile building.
No, not that at all.
No.
Well, but what I'm thinking is more just a straight up RPG. And
Well,
it's-
yeah, but that's not a board game. I'm saying as a
you want
Kickstarter board game.
Okay, okay. As a Kickstarter board game, yes, that works. That works
Yeah.
great. I think that what you'd have to do is each room you'd have to like is the D. There would be a DM, kind of like a that would
The Krampus.
it wouldn't be the Krampus, but because the Krampus would be like an NPC. Like,
But I want to control the Krampus.
well, you would control the Krampus.
All right, good.
But what it would be is that you have certain number of turns to exit the room before the Krampus comes into the room, and then while you're getting ready to leave the room, and if the Krampus shows up in that room, you have to find a way to stall the Krampus. You can never defeat the Krampus.
Yeah.
Just like the Grimace, you can never defeat the Grimace.
Nothing can defeat the Krampus.
Nothing can defeat the Grimace. But no, you'd have to. The Krampus would come into the room, and like, let's say you're doing a party of 4, like some members of the party would have to stall the Krampus, do certain things. There's certain things that you could do to stall the Krampus, and as the other person is trying to find a way out of the room, something like that. I think that would work. I think it could work.
Yes.
Or
Get it done.
what would be great too is that you could do that as in, you'd have like, okay, so let's say you put down the room, and then that leads to another room. You have like it could be small too. It could be like really small cards.
They're just tiny little things that are like a little puzzle to escape from.
Yeah.
While like and they're I would have like different setups like. So there'd be the GM reference because he's the one who's setting up the board and then putting down what enemies are on the board where they're supposed to be, and then the players spawn like in the room, and it's like this is how you escape.
Yeah,
And you could have a stack of it like.
Ooh, or how about this? How about you have 2 stacks? You have house cards, and then you have street cards.
Ooh, there you go.
So
So when you get out of the house, go to the street.
You flip a street card, and then you get to choose either to continue down on the street or go into another house.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah, and the whole thing is it has to last, let's say, 24 turns because it's each turn represents an hour in the day.
Okay, I like it.
So you have to like, and you can only spend upwards of like 3 to 4 hours in a specific room.
You have to survive Christmas.
Yeah, you have to survive Christmas. Oh my God, this works, Steve. Let's do this. Let's.
Taking Christmas. I also want to put some Neighbor for Christmas expansion pack.
Oh yeah,
Jack Skellington versus Krampus.
I always like the in the movie Krampus. I like the song at the end, which was ding dong, Krampus.
Yes.
Hark, hear the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say Krampus. All right, so yeah, we got the Evil Dead board game coming out. It'll probably be fun. I bet you it's fairly self-aware.
Hopefully.
I would love it if Raimi or someone like that had input into it, just to make it a little more fun. But I doubt Sam Raimi's the board game type guy. Sam Raimi doesn't seem like... He seems more like an RPG player more than like some guy who would sit there and play Dungeons and Dragons.
Sam Raimi seems like a guy who sits at home and gets baked all day.
Did you ever watch Ash vs.
Smoke weed every day.
Did you watch Ash vs. the Evil Dead?
I have
TV
it
show?
on my list to purchase. I'm going to be getting it. I heard it's really good.
The first episode is fantastic. But they could never achieve what they achieved in that first episode. The rest of the episodes are pretty good.
Sure.
But that first episode is just so unbelievably good. It's like, well, what's the point?
Fair. I've been watching. I've actually been watching Powers.
Oh, really?
Off and on. It's not good.
No, I like the comic.
It's
a
not
lot.
good, but I'm watching it. I don't know. It's like it's free on PlayStation,
And it's got Eddie Izzard.
I like Eddie Izzard. It's like I think I like watching it simply because like it's such. I wouldn't be so bold as to call it a train wreck, but it's so obviously a good concept and so poorly executed. It's kind of like you have to see it to believe. It's like, how did you guys fuck this up? Like, how are you making this unentertaining?
Well, let me tell you this. Powers has been in production for a long-ass time, and they actually filmed 2 separate pilots before the series for the PlayStation Network even went through. I believe one was for TNT, and that was actually filmed in downtown Chicago, which is the only reason I know about this. It's never worked.
I mean, and the acting is good. Like,
Yeah.
all of the actors are good.
And
Like,
it's such an easy fucking concept that
Yeah,
it's
I don't
so
know.
unbelievable that they messed it up.
I don't know. It's like, how is this boring? Like,
Yeah.
how is what I am watching boring? Is like mostly of my thought. It's like, I mean, I'm not like, oh man, I'm watching it, smashing it, but like it's like I was like half asleep and I was going through the PlayStation Store and I was like, oh, they put Power Season 2 up. I guess I could watch that. It's also short, so
Yeah.
there's that. But it's like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, they're trying.
Yeah, you know, I'll give them. I'll put a feather in their cap for trying.
Yeah. All right, so other big news. Fantasy Flight is doing the 5th book in their End of the World series.
This is Terminator, right?
It-
You don't know duty. You don't know honor. All you've got is a robotic boner for John Connor.
what?
That's from RoboCop versus the Terminator rap battle.
Ugh, Rap Battle is awful.
I love rap battles.
I think Rap Battle's the worst thing that ever happened to the internet.
The George R. Martin versus J.R.R. Tolkien is amazing.
Ugh,
It's so
it's
good.
so terrible.
You just don't got taste for the streets, my friend.
I don't. Well, yeah, that's true.
It's because you are a racist.
I am an incredible racist who was listening to Mobb Deep as I was driving here.
I don't
today.
even know what that is.
Exactly.
But you're still racist.
I'm still racist. Says the guy who knows nothing about rap to
About
the guy
Mobb Deep?
the guy who knows a little bit about rap.
I mean, I watched Straight Outta Compton. Thank you.
All of my characters in my new WoW build are all named after members of the Wu-Tang Clan. By the way, I already have Ghostface Killah and Capadonna and the RZA or Da RZA because I couldn't put the RZA.
So racist.
Yes, I know, but why not? I'm gonna do the entire Wu-Tang Clan. That's my goal in WoW.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you quantified that because
Yeah.
you just said you want to do the entire Wu-Tang Clan.
Well,
and
I do
was
want
like-
to do the entire Wu-Tang Clan.
I was like, I don't know if they're going to be up for that.
I mean, the RZA, he did some quality soundtracks.
They sold that album to the Martin Sheenkel guy for a bunch of money, and Bill Murray apparently can steal it back.
Yes, that's in the contract that Bill Murray can steal it back. Yeah.
Actually, I do know a decent amount about early '90s rap, but that's it.
And
Oh,
it's-
and late '80s rap.
Yeah, but the thing is that's not even a Wu-Tang Clan album. It's kind of a Wu-Tang Clan album. It's like a guy who worked with the Wu-Tang Clan, used a bunch of their stuff, and had them on there, and then they called it a Wu-Tang album, and that's how he was able to sell it. But it's apparently not very good. Which, more power to them for selling that asshole a shitty album for $1 million, or however much it was.
2, I believe.
$2 million, yeah. So yeah, they're doing Rise of the Machines or the Machine Apocalypse or whatever it's called. So they did Zombie Apocalypse, which was their first one. Then they did Aliens, Return of the Gods. I think there was like the Earth, like a
Natural
natural disaster one, and now
Maybe,
this
I
is
don't
their Rise of the Machines. So I'm assuming they're going to do a Terminator style.
I mean, the robot on the cover looks like a Terminator.
Yeah. So I think they're probably going to do like a Rise of the Machines.
As long as you have a sweet ass fucking synth soundtrack while you're gaming.
You could put on some what is it, Tangerine Dream, and be cool with it.
I mean, yeah, or you could do what's their name? Fuck. Not 1983.
The guys who did the Drive soundtrack.
That's Kavinsky.
Kavinsky, yeah. You put Kavinsky on, that would work.
Kavinsky works, yeah. There's actually a huge thing of like synthwave these days.
Yeah. I prefer Simpsons Wave if you haven't heard it yet. It's fantastic.
Is it like Simpsons shitposting?
No, but Simpsons shitposting is funny as well. Wait, let me see if I could find I got
Is it just synthwave with like Simpsons clips in it or something?
kind of.
That's really funny.
It was really good. I was like surprised.
All right, I'm intrigued.
Ooh.
What's their name? I'm trying to remember that. There's a couple of them I listen to. Time Cop 1983 is one of them, but he's not RoboCop style or Terminator style. Let's see. Is this Simpsons Wave?
Yeah. I wonder if they go. Let me see. I don't really know this one too much. Usually there's like Simpsons quotes throughout the entire thing. But
I see.
Yeah.
Of course, the one you picked for the example.
yeah, it
didn't
doesn't
work.
have that in there. Exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just put on something like and then call it a day. All right, are you still working on that?
I don't know. It's good. I actually dig it.
Fair enough.
Synth music is like one of those things that it's like I'd prefer if I was really stoned throughout the entire thing.
Well,
but-
the synthwave is more like the style I listen to is more like 80s style, like
Yeah.
Kavinsky, like the.
and I hate fucking Kavinsky.
I love Kavinsky. He's so good.
Something that like I also don't like Drive. People love Drive. I hate
I
Drive.
also think that movie's really good.
It is awful. That movie's just
The pacing in the movie is like slow, and then like it gets fast and doesn't stop, which is nice. That was because usually a lot of the problems I have with most slow burn movies is they go like they're when they it's supposed to be a roller coaster, so it's supposed to bring you up to the top, and when it goes down like into you're like whoa, and like it doesn't stop until the ending, and that movie does that. And there's a lot of slow burn movies where it's like it starts to like go over and then it like stops again, and like it tries to rebuild tension after basically cresting the hill. Doesn't work out.
I will agree and disagree with that. I hate the main character. I thought the problem with the main character is
Because he's Ryan Gosling and his attractiveness makes you uncomfortable.
no,
about
because I
yourself.
like Ryan Gosling and a lot of the stuff he
everyone
does.
likes Ryan Gosling, of course.
Well, but I mean, it's like I don't know how to say this without sounding offensive. But
You're gonna
he's
sound offensive.
I know I am. I'm just going to.
I mean,
But he's
which
like
is fair.
such
You're an offensive person.
it's such an internet boy thing, that movie, where it's just like I'm just the driver. You know, it's like I can't be with you because I'm just the driver. You know, it's like
he wants to bang that girl immediately.
but it's this like the stupid like macho type of like I'm a loner, daddy. Like that's what it is. It's I just think it's not very. He's not a likable character, and I don't think that he's not one of those unlikable characters that you like because he's unlikable. And the only thing that was really good in that movie was Albert Brooks, and he should have gotten nominated for an Oscar that year. But
Yeah, he was really good in that movie.
yeah. But anyway, what were we coming back to? Oh yeah, the synth heavy for the Terminator one. So I'm gonna assume that they're gonna do a there's probably gonna be a Grey Goo scenario, like the Grey Goo is loose.
You can't. The Grey Goo's not a scenario though. It's just it happens. It rapidly spreads and everyone dies. There's no way to escape it.
There's got to be a scenario like that. I'm sure there's going to be.
Maybe something like it, but it can't be. It can't be the actual Grey Goo because actual Grey Goo, like you can't hide because what you're hiding in also gets Grey Goo.
Yeah, but the I'm assuming that there's going to be a Terminator one, like because they always do the pre and post apocalypse, so they'll probably end up doing like. You know, the Terminator comes back in time to start the apocalypse, or AI becomes self-aware, and like it's Judgment Day, and then they're going to have like post-Judgment Day where you're hiding from the machine, the Resistance, and then they're probably going to end up doing a there's probably going to be like a Blade Runner style scenario with like replicants and things like that. I mean, it'll be fun, I think.
Why do you cry?
Like tears in the rain. What does he say? Oh, God, I used to know the monologue by fucking heart.
I don't really like Blade Runner.
You don't like Blade Runner? Oh, we've gone over this.
Yeah,
You don't
it's
like Blade
it's
Runner.
it's super slow and boring. It's like
Yeah.
it wants me to go to sleep.
But I'm probably gonna pick it up because I like the I love the what's it called? I love the zombie one. I really want to get the alien one. The Return of the Gods and the Mother Nature one I thought were boring.
Return of the King.
Because I was just like,
the Mother Nature one, you can finally be Mark Wahlberg. No, no, ma'am,
wait,
no.
I think the trees are trying to kill us. There's something going on. I'm a biologist.
no, ma'am, no.
That movie was so unbelievably bad.
Yes, that
like
is,
even by like I give a lot of M. Night Shyamalan movies to pass. I gave Unbreakable was great.
Unbreakable and Sixth Sense are good movies. The most recent one, The Visit, also a good movie.
that one was decent. I actually kind of enjoyed that one.
The rest of them are all bad.
I didn't didn't mind The Village. I thought The Village was okay.
Oh, I hated The
And I didn't
Village.
mind The Sixth Sense.
That's funny 'cause
not The Sixth Sense. Signs. I didn't mind Signs. The Signs fell apart at the end, of course, but I think a lot of the stuff that they did at the beginning was really
Signs
well.
has, I probably mentioned it before because I mentioned it also every time Signs is brought up, but Signs has my favorite line in cinema, which is when
Swing away,
Gibson,
Meryl?
no,
Oh,
Mel
I know.
Gibson is running around the house, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, "I am insane with anger." He's just like saying, he's just talking. That cracked me up.
The thing that
But
one
yeah,
thing-
that movie's bad.
the thing that bothered me most about Signs is when M. Night Shyamalan shows up in the movie and says, "I think we should head to water." It's like, why is the director showing up and telling you what to do?
See?
Lady in the Water was terrible, and
That movie's really bad.
you know what?
But I mean, you just said you didn't like Drive, and you said you liked Signs and the other one. So,
but they were fun and they were stupid. Drive took itself
you've
way
now-
too
well,
seriously.
you've now put yourself into a
no.
movie
You
camp,
can't.
And then there's
You
another
can't.
movie camp.
You can't. That's bad. That's a bad way of proving a point in any movie is to make comparisons to what a person likes and what a person doesn't like.
But I
That's,
mean, that's
no, that's not.
that's how
not-
critics work.
That's not how critics work.
It's
critics
exactly how critics
No,
work.
no, no.
It's-
Critics
they have their own because it's all subjective.
No.
It's all subjective.
No, critics work based on movie to
on
movie
their
to
subjective
movie.
choice of movie.
Yeah. So you
But they
can't.
have
But you can't
taste.
say that like because Roger Ebert loved or because Siskel loved Babe and the Pig in the City that makes his feelings on. I don't know. Superman
No.
Returns any worse?
It doesn't invalidate their feelings, but it gives you their taste, and like that puts them in like. So, example, if there's a dude who only likes pretentious art house movies, not because they're pretentious art house movies, but that's just because that's what he likes. You need to know what that's why I hate critics. I think it's pointless because everyone has their own subjective taste in the movies they like. So if you like shitty B action movies and you say like, dude, American Ninja Warrior 2 is one of the best movies ever made.
But I would never say that Signs is a better movie than Drive. Drive is obviously a better movie.
They're totally different
but I
movies.
just don't like Drive.
I also wouldn't compare them because they're totally different films.
Yeah, but that's
Not
what I'm
even
saying.
the
Is
same
like,
genre.
but I can make that decision based on a filmmaking standpoint.
Maybe.
That Drive is a very good movie. It's a very well directed movie. I don't like the characterization. I don't like a lot of the writing and the pacing. And I don't like the soundtrack at all.
I found it. It's Perturbator. Perturbator. Perturbator.
Okay.
That's the fucking music I was
Okay.
trying. I was buying time just so I could
Find the Perturbator.
Yes, that's the specific artist I was talking to. They're very much like Terminator style, like synth, like dark. That like the
So I-
like that. Like
So I could use it for like my my Shadowrun games.
yes, absolutely. It would be perfect for your Shadowrun games.
When we're hacking the system.
Yes.
When we're hacking the world.
It would be very if you're doing like an 80s nostalgia driven Shadowrun game, it would be perfect for it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I would do with the Terminator. If I
Perturbator.
If I
I
was-
can't even fucking say it.
if I ran the machine takeover scenarios from that supplement, I would totally set it in the 80s.
High tops.
Oh yeah, it would be like totally 80s because that way it's easier to do stuff like hacking because it's the 80s. So you know, it's
You could phone freak in the 80s.
yeah, exactly. You could do a lot of crazy stuff that's like now that we know computers wouldn't work, but in the 80s cinema universe, it's very easy to hack stuff as long as you know the back door or whatever. You know.
I have his access codes.
I have the access codes. I'm gonna blow this whistle really quick. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. That was a pee break on my end. Yeah. So you could do stuff like blow a whistle into a phone and like hack it that way, which was actually a legit thing. But
You just you pick up the receiver and you just click it a bunch of times.
yeah, exactly. Like and you get that
Kids
whatever.
these days have never even seen a phone like that.
No, and that would be fun to play with a bunch of older guys who at least somewhat remember the 80s and remember like the way that computers were
Have that
treated
like
in the 80s.
vague memory of the 80s.
Yeah.
Where computers were just a DOS prompt and you just had to type everything.
Oh, so good.
I actually remember using DOS. So
Well, yeah, I do too.
I love DOS.
The only thing I remember about DOS was like insert the big 3x5, the big what is it, 5-inch floppies, and then you type in like run.
boot disk A. And
Yeah,
it's like
boot
goes,
disk-
goes
yeah.
to A and it's like load doom.exe.
Yes,
yes.
It was mine was even earlier. Mine was like load math sub, and then it was like the math submarine
Zork.
game.
Load
Yeah.
Zork.
Yeah, load Zork. Exactly.
Any of those old text-based games.
I never played a ton of those text-based
I
games.
did. I liked drawing the map when that was my favorite thing to do in games. That's one of the things I liked about Dark Souls is it doesn't give you a map. So like I actually drew. It brought me back to that like oh yeah, I gotta go. It's like, oh, a shortcut, and like drawing the map back in the day was like one of the most fun things about, and that's what got me into like dungeoneering stuff for like D&D. Like, so I love drawing maps.
We talked about that. I love Eye to Beholder, which was my favorite game of all time.
And that wants you to draw maps.
And
So does Legend of Grimrock.
Well, I didn't draw the maps with Legend of Grimrock.
But it has the mode. You can turn the auto map off, so you can draw it yourself with grid paper.
I preferred just the build your own map. Like when you went through it, I was like, I would do this anyway. So this is just taking a lot of the
It's lifting the work off of you, which is what auto mapping is for.
Exactly.
But it's still, that conceptually is fun. I mean, I don't have the time to blow on a game, or I need to build them, do that anymore. Not the size of a game like Grimrock.
What I need to do is I need to build a gaming computer, but I need to make it so that
you just play old games that are totally outclassed by the computer.
I need to find a way of playing a game where it's like I don't have access to the internet while playing, because I've grown too much that guy that's like, I can't get through this fucking thing. Oh, that's how you do it. Okay, and then I go back to do that. Like, I've grown too much to be that guy.
Yeah, there's really... The only thing you could do is just not do that.
Well, I know, but it's really hard. Like, if I had a gaming rig that wouldn't allow me to do that, that would be much easier. Like, it would slap me on the hand and just be like, no, do not do that. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be... Yeah, I can't think of anything that could help you out with that.
No.
Other than just not doing it.
Yeah.
Because...
I remember doing that like when I was playing WoW back in the day, and I found myself doing that again. I would be like, wait, where do I have to go for this? Oh, okay.
Well, now it shouldn't matter, because you should be able to just like click the fucking buttons and it'll show you where to go.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would be like stuff like, where's this guy at? Like, I can't find him somewhere. This is stupid. I get mad at it. But anyway, the only last gaming thing that I have that I thought was worth talking about is Games Workshop's putting out another mini game. Like miniatures game. They're doing Lost Patrol.
Oh, the one with the scouts and the Tyranids.
Yeah. So,
it's got scouts and Tyranids.
I think those are the same old sculpts too. Like they're just the repackaged
plastic.
So when that guy yelled at us and saying like Games Workshop just taking a sprue and cutting it up and throwing it in a box, they don't do that. Yeah, they do.
That's exactly what they do.
That's the only reason I wanted to bring it up was to shove it in that guy's face. So this is going to be your in-depth review of Lost Patrol.
Yeah, it's a tile-based game meant to get you into fucking 40K. Like,
yeah,
that's what they're there for.
But Lost Patrol is actually based off. Once again, it's based off an old game.
Yeah, they're.
Remember those old scouts that would have like they had the hero pose with the arms sticking out?
They all had the hero pose.
Oh yeah, and they had mohawks.
Yes, I remember those.
Because for some odd reason, people in Britain had everyone had a mohawk back in the day.
They had the 2000 AD style. Like Workshop used to be 2000 AD style. Like everybody had a fucking.
They had fucking jet bikes, just like
jet
Judge
bikes,
Dredd.
mohawks, knee pads. Like that was they had that look. That was the 40K look. Like Necromunda. Like Necromunda is Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Like there's even the guys who look like
Arbites,
judges.
yeah.
So they had that look going for them, and now they're in like a different realm with like 40K is like gelled into its own thing, but like the Sigmar. Someone pointed out, I think it was Angel, but they pointed out that have like the Sigmarines and stuff. They look very heavy metal, and I was like, you know what they do? They like.
You think they look like heavy metal?
I think they do. Like the reminiscent that reminiscence of like I was like, okay, yeah, because they kind of look like if you had like. Boris Vallejo or Frank Frazetta drawing like a sword and sorcery dude in that like concept of the Warhammer world, that what it is now. I could see it. I could see those dudes on like the cover of Heavy Metal and being like a short comic.
I could. I mean, I could see that. I don't think it necessarily looks like that. Someone just took over Heavy Metal. So like someone famous just took over Heavy Metal.
The magazine?
Yeah.
That magazine still exists?
Yeah, I think they redid. Who was it? Was it the guy who did Animal Man? God, I can't think of it. Was it? I think it's Grant Morrison. I think Grant Morrison took over Heavy Metal.
Really?
Yeah, which
All right.
should be good. I mean, I would be a big supporter of that.
I mean, that seems good.
I love that fucking movie. I loved that movie when I was a kid.
But what about the second one?
I never watched it, actually.
I heard, I haven't watched it, but it's not an anthology movie. So once I heard that, I was like, oh, not interested. But yeah. So I mean, maybe it's good. I don't know. I won't watch it because the reason Heavy Metal is good is because it's an anthology movie that has that one connecting factor of the weird
orb thing.
But yeah. So other than that, I'm not interested. I think what is it? The Tales from the Dark Side. Like if you did a Tales from the Dark Side movie and just made it like another one, and you just made it one story, it'd be like, the fuck? Like what the hell? This is supposed to be 3 or 4 stories. I love Tales from the Dark Side.
I do love Tales from the Dark Side. Tales from the Dark Side, not as good as the Twilight Zone movie, but still.
Oh, the Twilight Zone movie is fantastic. That's a great movie.
Yeah. Well, just the Terra 20,000.
There's something on the wing!
You're John Lithgow.
I've got the guns, John. Yeah,
I mean,
I love John Lithgow.
It's worth watching it just for that sequence.
Yeah.
And
then, of course, that leads to the greatest joke in the entirety of Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah, when Shatner meets it. I saw something on the wing of the plane.
Yeah, that was fucking great.
So we already have a bunch of comments on our video. Matt Hurd says, weeaboo? More like we don't.
Nice.
James Brandt just said, fuck, get your clothes off already. And Matt Lee says, just a bunch of hunks. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, we are a bunch of hunks.
We totally are. And Angel Baker says, no, I missed it while at work. It doesn't really matter. You can still watch it. It's not like it matters that we were...
Well, they can talk to us while we're doing it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the
I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah, the chat thing goes live. So, like, you can... Like, if they type in it while you're recording, you can see it and, like, talk back to
maybe
them.
next time... so next episode... Maybe we could do this and we'll do like live question answering.
Oh, a live Q&A?
Yeah, live Q&A. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, we'll have to
Just give 'em-
announce.
we have to
Yeah,
give
we
'em
give them a heads up
yeah.
when we're gonna do it, so that
For
way.
sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll do a grab a question like a mailbag, and then we'll also open it up to live questions. While maybe we'll answer the live question. We'll answer the grab bag questions live on there. We'll figure something out, but we'll do something fun like that. When I saw that Facebook started doing this, I was like, "Ooh, I could use this for the podcast."
I have
That'll suck up some time.
I was gonna save it, but I have a big reveal for you.
Oh, what's the big reveal?
All right, just hold on a second.
Okay, because we're getting close to the end anyway. If this is
Just for you.
Steve's playing Sigmar. Steve's playing Sigmar. He's playing Nurgle. He's playing the Nurgles.
Yeah, like I said, they put points costs in, so I'm gonna give it a go.
But we haven't even seen the point cost yet.
You are correct, which is why all I have is one small little box.
That's fine.
One small
You're
start
gonna-
collecting box, because if for some reason the points shit the bed super hard,
You could just
I
get rid
can
of
just
it.
sell it.
Yeah, and demons are pretty sellable.
Yep.
They're not great, but they're still sellable.
Yep. Yeah. So
Steve,
I am, well,
Steve.
hey.
I'm almost as disappointed in you as you are with me for playing WoW.
Well, here's the thing. We've talked about it a lot of times.
Yes.
But I play a bunch of minis games, or quote unquote play a bunch of minis games. Nobody plays the miniatures games that I own. So I figured, you know what? I'm actually going to play one that people play.
Okay.
That there are actually people playing.
You can
'Cause,
play.
like,
You can play Bolt Action with me.
no, that's awful. If I wanted to play a game that one other person I know plays, I already do that. I've got Wrath of Kings.
Yes.
So joining another game that doesn't have a reasonably sized community seems like a waste of time.
Yes.
So I don't want to play 40K because fuck that.
You don't have that much money.
Or time, like, because you need to and you need to just like buy the new figures repeatedly, and you need like 7 of them.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, $100 thing came up. Well, got to get 7. So I don't want to do that. And the only thing I could think of was Sigmar, and I was like, yeah, well, I didn't want to play it because it didn't have a game. And here's the reason why. Like, I said before, minus the ridiculous fucking mustache rules, which are absolutely unconscionable. The fact of the matter was there's no fucking points, so you can't play the fucking game. Because even if you went to the tournaments, because there's like 6 fan-made points costs rule sets, quote unquote, but it doesn't matter because if I go to your tournament and you're using rule set A, and I build an army for rule set A, the next tournament I go to, oh, that's rule set B.
Yeah.
So it's I can't build an army for it. Now that there's going to be a standardized points cost, I can actually go and play fucking games. Like, I can actually hey, they're running a tournament. Because right now, there's an Age of Sigmar tournament going on right now.
I mean, it doesn't mean... I understand your reasoning. I'm just still disappointed.
I mean, that's fine. Nothing can be as disappointed. Like, if I played Bolt Action, I would be more disappointed in myself. Like, the only thing that could have made me more disappointed in myself is if I, like, played Bolt Action. That's, like, the lowest thing I could go.
Oh, my God. They just did, like, a little teaser for the new edition, and they mentioned something about...
Are there tiers?
Oh, they mentioned something about templates, and, like, I immediately saw 3 people go, fuck templates! Oh, my God! They're ruining the game!
That's awesome.
I'm like, don't be dumb. Come on.
That's awesome.
We're pushing our little World War II guys. It's like, what are you doing? What are you getting upset about?
I like that.
I think it's hysterical.
Anything that upsets bolt action players is fine by me.
Oh, okay. One of the sites I go to had this thing about the idea of metagaming, and their example was Flames of War, and like their concept of what metagaming is
not metagaming.
Is not metagaming.
Great.
Because it's like metagaming is like you find a loophole, you find something that's exploitable. Like when a whole group of people find something that's exploitable and they all play it. That's what metagaming is.
Yeah, that's the metagame. Like everyone is going to be using rocket launchers because they're OP. So you need to make sure that your list is good against rocket launchers.
So that's the
metagame.
No, you make
rocket launcher meta.
Well, what it is initially is like, oh, everyone's playing a rocket launcher, so I have to have an army that can both be offensively and defensively good against a rocket launcher army. And then once that happens, then someone finds the exploitable loophole of, okay, I could do this, but this on the offensive hand becomes much better, and then people stop taking rocket launchers because now they have to defend against this.
Flamethrowers.
Yeah, flamethrowers. And then that shifts the meta, and usually what happens is like the game company gets all swingy and panicky because they find the rule set's exploitable, so they make something completely. They make rocket launchers terrible, and they make something else really good because to fight against the rocket launchers. And now you got this going on, and it keeps going like that back and forth.
As opposed to RPG metagaming, which is using your outside of the game personal knowledge to impact your character's knowledge.
Yeah.
So, for example, your character has no idea what a mind flayer is. They shouldn't know that they're going to have psionic attacks. You're going to be like, they're going to attack us with psionics. Like, your barbarian would never, ever know that.
Yeah. Your barbarian's dead.
Yeah, your barbarian has been slain. Why? He got hit by a rock of metagaming.
by the rock of metagame.
Yeah.
We should.
It's just a big rock that says meta on it, and it crushes your skull.
Oh, we should patent that. We should just sell the rock of metagaming. We'll just sell big rocks that have meta
Right, meta.
painted. Yeah. Just like crudely painted meta.
Yes.
That'll be our next Kickstarter after the Krampus game. The rock of
Krampus.
The Krampus.
Krampus.
All right. So go to PlanetArbitrary.com for your Planet Arbitrary needs. You can follow me on Twitter at Planet Arbitrary. You can follow Steve at
Play on Steve.
You can like our Facebook page, /Game Classy Podcast, where maybe we'll put up a couple more videos here and there. Steve might do it on his own. He'll just he'll do his late night chats where he's like, "Hey guys, Steve here."
Maybe I'll do some ASMR videos while I paint.
Yeah.
I can just set it up like while I'm painting and just be like, and now I'm going to be painting this.
I
red
thought it was just going to be
and
your heavy breathing while painting.
No. I'll describe it like, and then we're going to be doing a little bit of black highlight here.
Remember when I
And
first
you
discovered
highlight
what
black
ASMR videos were? That was like so
dude,
weird.
they're old.
I know, but I just discovered it like not too long ago. I was like,
Yeah.
"What is this? This is a thing?"
Yeah, it's a popular thing. There's ASMR unboxing is a huge thing too. It's like you come. That's I think that's the new future. If you want to pioneer a field of getting hot on YouTube by like hitting trends, you need to hit like the multiple trends. So ASMR videos, they're played, there's already established. Unboxing videos, they're played, they're already established.
What about
ASMR unboxing? So you bring it together.
What about ASMR pantyhose removal videos?
Yeah,
Do you think that would? I guarantee those.
Also,
probably
if you could
exist,
figure out
yeah.
how to do ASMR hydraulic press crushing.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing right now.
That would be hard.
I love the hydraulic press channel.
Yeah,
That's something I'll watch
it's
regularly
great.
because it's only like 30 seconds, and I'm like, oh, I kind of do want to see what happens when this gets crushed.
We've got he's going to attack at any time.
He's a very dangerous.
We must deal with it.
And then the old lady laughing in the background every time.
And thank you, Scott Anderson, for
Oh,
Action
yeah.
Castle and Action Castle 2. I will treasure them always.
Yes.
I'll probably run them in there. It's pretty fun. I like it.
You could also listen to our sister podcast. You have Play On Podcast, a.k.a. Pat's Retro Video Game Review Podcast, where Steve and Pat talk about video games. What's the new hotness now? What do you guys talk about?
E3 is going to be the next cast.
Oh, the debacle that always is the E3.
Everyone's covering a little chunk of E3. We actually used journalistic thingies, and we actually assigned people what thing they had to cover.
You guys talk about how the new Legend of Zelda has everybody winking.
You know what? I was kind of surprised. Like, I know people like Zelda. I like Zelda, but holy shit, people lost their minds.
I didn't think it looked that good, but I'm not a huge Zelda fan, so I don't care.
Like, wow, people fucking went crazy over it. So we'll be talking about that.
Yes,
for sure.
I always love Pat with E3 because he gets so excited about it, but then he gets so disappointed with it every year.
We already had a really great moment where he was like, he started shit talking Final Fantasy 15 because like people are really excited about it, and he's like, this game looks so fucking bad, and I'm like, I'm trying to get more info. I'm like, give me more information. Like, why do you think this looks bad, other than you not liking RPGs and only liking Call of Duties? And he said like the Microsoft presentations. I'm like, oh, okay. So I watched the Microsoft Final Fantasy 15 presentation. Holy shit. The guy playing it was like some product director.
Oh,
or like,
so he had no idea what he was doing.
He was running in a circle getting punched. That was like this. He was fighting his giant colossal like titan, and he was just running like in a literal circle and being punched repeatedly.
That's what I always say about E3 is, why do people care about E3? It's a nightmare every year.
But the best part about it is that Pat then watched the Sony presentation, and they also had a Final Fantasy 15 segment, which was a night and day difference, where the Sony one made it look awesome.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
So you guys are going to be talking about E3. That's
yes,
nice.
E3. There'll be many things to be talking about. New games. I mean, E3's cool. Like just to see the new games. Like that's.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all you. Like I don't know why they just don't get up there with a pre-taped thing of someone who's playing the game well.
Right. That's what I was like. Why? That's why that guy's gonna get fucking fired.
Probably not.
Well, no. I don't think that's his. Like, he's a product manager. Like, I don't know why the fuck he's playing. Like, that's not his job. He's not a playtester.
I don't know.
Yeah, the thing that sucks about E3 though is there's a lot of games that end up getting announced at E3 and never come out.
Well, I mean, like I'm still waiting on No Man's Sky, but that's just me.
You could send the guy some death threats. Like everyone else.
Always. I've been doing it since day one.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with the game. It's just me threatening him. It's like, you son of a bitch.
Very good.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you in front of your mother.
Yeah, very good.
And also you can listen to Comic Book Logic, where myself and Kevin will watch comic book movies, and we review them. We talk about them, how they have to deal with the comic books, how they hold up as movies on themselves. We just did the 2005 trash fire known as the Fantastic Four. And
that's the old one.
Yeah, not the old one, not the Roger Corman one,
no.
but the
you said trash fire, so I knew it wasn't the Roger Corman one.
No, the Roger Corman one's a trash fire, but it's a wonderful trash fire. It's a trash fire you don't mind warming yourself to.
It's a glowing hobo trash fire.
Yeah, it's a glowing hobo trash fire. The Fantastic Four from 2005 is one of those stinky, smelly trash fires that's usually like a grade school dumpster that's filled with old milk.
Nice.
Yeah.
On an outer space adventure.
I sing that quite a bit in the review as an homage to you, and we're probably gonna end up doing. We haven't really decided yet. Kevin kind of wants to do the Raimi Spider-Man. Spiderman.
I want poems about Spider-Man.
Give me a haiku.
Have you seen how fucking jacked that guy is?
He's huge.
Why is he so big?
I don't know.
He's gonna be Jacked Gordon, I guess.
Jacked Gordon. I like his giant beard too.
Yeah, I think the rule for the DC movies is like everyone needs to be jacked.
Yeah.
Because did you see how big fucking Affleck was?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you have to be homo jacked.
Yeah.
Like huge.
Yeah, that's it.
Like you have to just be pure muscle. It has to be so homoerotic. It has to that's what you.
Hey, I'm all in.
I am too. I'm great with it. I'm like I want everyone that
Going
big.
to see the muscularity.
Yes.
When you see my posing routine, it's perfect.
Yes, we should get that on video too.
I fucking love Pumping Iron. It's on Netflix. Everyone should watch it.
Everyone should watch it.
Everyone should watch Pumping Iron.
I don't like that he makes fun of Lou Ferrigno.
Well, yeah, it's because he's the best. Who's the best, Louis? You are Arnold.
Yes. But we haven't decided. We're either going to do the Raimi Spider-Man or V for Vendetta is on Netflix right now, and I kind of want to do V for Vendetta.
If you do the Raimi Spider-Man, you have a lot more movies because you can go from the Raimi Spider-Man into
that's what
the Andrew Garfield one.
Kevin was talking about doing the summer Spider-Man, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. We're going to be really burnt out on Spider-Man.
It's a pretty good idea. And plus, having all of the Spider-Man movies fresh while you're watching all of them probably would be ideal. Like being able to go from the first one, the 2000 one,
yeah,
all the way because it was 2000, right?
2001.
Okay, yeah. Being able to do that one all the way to the recent Jamie Foxx one probably would be best.
That Amazing Spider-Man 2 was so bad. It was like awful bad. Like I liked the first Amazing Spider-Man. I was like, okay, this is an okay movie. It's not fantastic. I kind of like Andrew Garfield. But man, that second one was awful.
That's funny. That reminds me of my coworker. My coworker who's like he's like so neutral about everything. Like, I can't
tell my wife hello.
Yeah, it's like I can't get like his opinions on every movie is kind of like like he hates Kevin Smith. Like with a fucking passion, he hates Kevin Smith. Like I don't think I've ever seen someone hate on I don't think I've ever seen someone hate on something as much as he hates Kevin Smith. But for the most part, every time it's a movie, he's always like, yeah, it was okay. It's like he's always and I'm like what about Spider-Man 3? And he's like, everything was fine except for the dance scene. And like that's every movie is just like he's so fucking middle of the ground. Like he's never like, oh, that movie's fucking garbage. Like he's like, oh, that movie was great. He's always like, it was a movie. I enjoyed it. And I was just like, don't you have an opinion? He's like, oh, that's my opinion. He is the most middle ground man ever. So he's the actual worst. Like if he's seen a movie and I haven't seen it yet, his opinion is the worst thing for me to listen to because he's always gonna be like, yeah, it was fine. I'm like, stop. Get passionate
How do you feel
about
about
it.
Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Oh, he liked it.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah. He gave it that review. He gave it that exact review. He said the only thing I've seen him get super passionate about is hating Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I don't know, and I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, so I don't know. But I'll go along. Like me and Kevin will decide what we're gonna do.
I really liked Dr. Octopus.
Yeah, I mean, the amazing
Alfred Molina. That
Spider-Man-
movie's good. The
Spider-Man and
movie.
Spider-Man 2 are pretty good. They're long. They're unnecessarily long, but whatever. Anyway,
My favorite part of Spider-Man 3 was the dance scene. So
Steve, until next time,
Jurassic Park is frightening in the dark.
all the dinosaurs are running wild.
That's it.
That
Game Classy.